Hi everybody, Dennis here, and welcome to Module 2. I hope that you've all survived Module 1. I think you have. Everybody's doing a really good job. So we're moving into this class very quickly, and it's very important that you keep up. So here we go with Module 2. I've got a lot to tell you, got a lot of notes here to go over, so bear with me. In the first module, we went over the groundwork for things. We looked at ethics and planning and communications, and we also hopefully worked out all the little bugs in Moodle that you might have had. So we should all be using that tool now and having no problems with it. Starting with this module, Module 2, we're going to look at donor relations, and then in a couple weeks with Module 3, we'll look at special events, and then a few weeks after that with Module 4, we'll look at grants. That's the plan. And so now we're going to look at donor relations for Module 2. Individual donors are the biggest fish in the pond. Okay, these are the people that will give you the most money, and the money that you will receive will have the fewest strings attached to it, much more so than foundation or corporate types of dollars. So you always want to have individual donors as your biggest target for whatever your organization is. Just an example of that, in the year 2012, there was $212 billion with a B raised by individuals alone. So that's a lot of money. We should be paying attention to that. But with individual donors, you actually have to ask for money. So we need to get rid of this stigma about asking for money. In my career, I've done it a few different ways, but the foundation that I've always tried to walk into an ask with is that people give from their hearts first, and then they use their heads to sort of put their gift together. But when you tug on their hearts with a good story or a good cause, that's when they give you money. Arranging the gift or figuring out how much to give you comes later as part of using their head. I've always looked at it sort of as you're being a bridge to that person. They have philanthropic goals. Everybody does. Everybody has a cause or something that they want to give some money to, and you're lucky enough to be that organization. So what you do is serve as a bridge between their goals and your organization. So you're just kind of the go-between. If you see it that way and as a partnership rather than, oh, I'm just approaching you holding out my hat all the time, it's a little more businesslike in that manner. So I've always approached it that way, and it seems to have worked in my career. But again, if you see yourself as kind of a bridge between what they want and what you want, then it tends to work out a little better. And also always remember that the number one reason that people don't give to your organization is because you didn't ask them. Okay, it's very, very simple. So you have to ask for money, and you have to ask for a specific amount of money. If you're smart, you'll also let that person know that this is the goal that we have. So if you're raising $50,000 for the Summer Community Garden Project, and you're asking for $1,000, you might want to let that person know that your ultimate goal is $50,000. They might go, hey, this is a great thing that they're doing. This is a great opportunity for me. I'm going to give them 25 grand, or I'm going to give them 50 grand. You know, stranger things have happened. So it's always good to let somebody or an organization know what your ultimate goal is, because you may be asking for too little. So you never know. At least that information is there, and they can know it, and they can decide on their own. Okay, so in your organization, when it comes down to donor relations, there's really three things that you need to be really good at, and it's kind of the three legs of the foundation of a triangle, I guess. The first one is asking. You have to be good at asking for money. Don't tap dance around the question. If I comment on one of your answers, and I say that you're tap dancing, that's what I mean. Ask me for money. Don't tap dance all around it and not get to the point, because that's just going to frustrate your donor. Ask for money, okay? Don't be ashamed to do that either. The second thing is that you have to be good at is analyzing your donor data. You need to be really good about pinpointing what it is that your donors are attracted to in terms of special events or an annual appeal. Maybe they like to come to your annual gala. Maybe they don't. You just need to really be constantly analyzing and massaging your donor data so that you're communicating with them the right way and they're communicating back the right way. There's a really good author. Her name is Dr. Judith Nichols, Nichols. Her first book, I think, was called Pinpointing Affluence. I love her work because what she does is take the different generations that we have in this country, like Gen X and Gen Y and baby boomers and those types of things. And she researches how they think and how they give. And oh man, I can't wait until her books come out, because I latch onto them and really use that data. In fact, I'm going to send you guys an article that has to do with that. It's not by her, but it's about the same thing. Hopefully you'll see the importance of knowing your constituency and communicating with them in certain ways. The third thing that you have to be really good at is communication. And it just goes along with what I said. Not only do you have to know who's in your family, but how to communicate with them. And these different demographic groups like to be communicated with in different ways. You can imagine a World War II veteran, or maybe a Korean War veteran, that would be more prevalent nowadays, probably wants to get something in paper from you. They're probably not on FaceTime, or you can't send them a Vine or an Instagram or something. But the younger people probably want the technological approach. So you got to know that. Okay, page 2 of my notes. Here we go. This is my advice for the next couple weeks, for the things we have coming up. I want to be very clear on one thing, okay? The Community Kitchen's ultimate fundraising goal for this entire class is $200,000, okay? One of the projects under the umbrella of that goal is the Summer Community Garden Project. Its fundraising goal is $50,000. The 50 is part of the 200. But if you write, for instance, an email solicitation to a donor and you say, we need money for the Summer Community Garden Project, our goal is $200,000, you would be incorrect. The goal is $50,000, okay? Sometimes, you think of it this way, the $200,000 is your annual budget. And you've got all these different things that you're going to do to try to get to that $200,000. Maybe a special event. You're going to go after some major donors. You're going to write some grants. Okay, that's what we're doing actually in this class. The $50,000 is one project, the Summer Community Garden Project. I say that because every class somebody says the goal of that is $200,000, and I have to unfortunately take points off because that is incorrect. Okay, let's see. You got a donor relations quiz coming up. I grade this, and basically you've got some board members that give you excuses for not asking for money. They're afraid, or they don't think it's right, or whatever. You have to respond to them in an email. Be professional, write professionally, and be respectful. The first smiley face I get in one of those emails, or exclamation point, the dreaded exclamation point, I'm going to take about half off, because that is really unprofessional. I don't care, even in real life, I don't care if you know your board members, if they're your best friends. You never email them, especially if they're asking for your advice, in an unprofessional or familiar manner. So let's get started with that right now. Write professionally, be professional, and be respectful. And you're not texting, you're not emailing a friend, so get rid of all the crazy punctuation and the little emoticons and the smiley faces. No place in that in development work, okay? Let's see. You're also going to have to do a prospect map. So really think about the prospect map. Really take a moment to think about the different parts of the community that you can go to and ask for support. Also, if we're asking for 2 things, give us 2 things. If we're asking for 3 things, give us 3 things. You'll see what I mean when you get to the directions of the prospect map. The following week, you have to do an email solicitation. This is when the points start going up a little bit, and my grading gets a little tougher. The email solicitation, here's my best advice, okay? Your subject line needs to make me want to open that email. And don't shout at me with an exclamation point, just make it very compelling, okay? Once I open that email, you've got about 2 or 3 seconds in real life to grab my attention before I throw you in the trash. So your first couple 3 sentences need to tell me a really cool story, maybe make me shed a tear about something. You got to grab my heart, because what am I going to give with first? My heart. Grab my heart first. Then in the rest of the email, throw some facts and figures at me and do some of that stuff, but you got to grab me first, okay? Then in terms of length, make it not too long and not too short. And I'm being purposely vague. I want you to use your own experience when you've gotten emails. After how long do you start falling asleep in this thing? Okay, don't make it too long, but don't make it too short either. Say what you want. And the most important thing about an email solicitation is the word solicitation. Ask for money. Ask for a very specific amount of money. And if you're smart, like I said earlier, you will also let this person know what your ultimate goal is. So, I believe that this email is for the Summer Community Garden Project. And what is the goal for that project? $50,000. All right, so that's my best advice. I'm giving you some answers here, but you know, what my goal here in this class is that you learn. Okay, I'm not a point crazy guy. I'm pretty lenient with points, but I want to make sure that you walk away knowing how to be better in this field and knowing some of the little tricks that you can do. That starts with being a professional writer, being very clear with your communications, and being able to ask for money. That's the whole idea. Okay, so that's it for my video for Module 2. I'll follow up with an email on Monday, as I usually do. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at any time. I think I'm pretty responsive. I have a big class this term, but it's not too big, and I usually get to people pretty quickly. Great job on the discussion on the PepsiCo issue. I thought that was fantastic. Everybody did a really good job answering questions. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer, but you guys tended to hit all the main points, and that was really refreshing to see. I'll throw a few more of those little bombs out there and leave some documents with you guys as the weeks go on, but that was a really good start. I was very impressed. Okay, everybody, good luck with this module. Contact me if you need me, and we'll get it done, and 2 weeks from now we'll step into Module 3. Thank you. Take care.